Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Starladder Season 3. My name is Epi and we have Dara up against the Tough Bananas. They still have the picture of the Copenhagen Wolves in there and I didn't have enough time to figure out exactly why they have to do that, but what I do know is that they're not sponsored by the Copenhagen Wolves anymore, although it's still a bunch of former Copenhagen Wolves players. Now they have Link, former pro player who's reactivated his online activity in regards to Dota 2, so they got some high caliber player in their team right now. Rise playing as a stand-in, and the three players that are Calculus, Balsam, and the Nino are still from the old Copenhagen Wolves. And they're going up against Dara now. Dara disbanded and picked up another team, so this is an all Bulgarian squad. The names are all relatively known from the competitive or semi-competitive scene. Sava Doom, Hawkeye, Nose. Still haven't produced any results as of late, so this is, I think, a matchup of two teams with similar skill levels. I think it should be a pretty interesting match. Dara has lost, I think, majority of their games so far in the Starladder Season 3, and the Tough Bananas, in my opinion, have the upper hand so far. So let's go right into this draft. We have Darkseer, Lycanthrope banned out, as well as Morphling and Chaos Knight. Now, I don't know if you guys had a chance, but on joindota.com you have a link to the changelog for the new Dota 1 version, and I recommend you guys check it out because all the changes that were added into Dota or Dota 1, they will be implemented into Dota 2 as well in the future, so this is highly relevant stuff. And there's some really big changes in there. Invoker now banned out from Dara. This is interesting. I think they just don't want Link to get his hands on him. But then we still have Naga Siren, Rubik, Nature's Prophet, Brute Mother. These are still heroes left in the pool. Shadow Demon is a hero that Tough Bananas, former Copenhagen Wolves, really like to utilize as well. By the way, let me actually ask if just ask Drunken why the Tough Bananas have to put Copenhagen Wolves into their name tag. This is kind of interesting. At any rate, now they're going to bonus time with their last ban. Whatever they take out right now will decide directly what Dara is going to be able to first pick. So they go with the Tidehunter first ban, so probably a Naga Siren going to be seen right now. Maybe a Rubik. Both heroes equally powerful in different areas of the game. Naga Siren received a bunch of nerfs actually in the latest version for Dota 1. And there's that Rubik. So they did ban out Tidehunter, who is a really cool setup combination for Naga Siren. So now they decide to go for Leshrac, who in the new version of Dota has actually a cast time for Diabolic Edict. So usually Diabolic Edict did not require you to have a cast animation. It will in the future. I think this is pretty big. And there's just a bunch of big changes. I mean, what's his face? Pit Lord. He got some really big buffs. Now he got a new skill and an aura that reduces all base damage from the enemies within 900 AoE by 42% on level 4. And for each creep that drops within this aura range, he will get plus 5 damage for up to 40 some seconds on level 4. And for each hero that dies in that range, he will get plus 30 damage. So this guy is going to be crazy in the competitive scene once he's implemented. And I wonder how he's going to be looking too. I'm interested for his artwork in Dota 2. At any rate, now Dara picked up Venomancer and Night Stalker. Rubik is going to be the hero that will give them the flexibility in terms of laning. They will probably put Night Stalker into the middle lane. The question is whether or not he will have it in solo, or if they will put a Venomancer on there to support him. Rubik will be able to contribute a lot into team fights. Night Stalker has got some good ganks, and Venomancer will be useful throughout all stages of the game. And they pick up TA before I'm able to go into this. I figured TA would be a pretty strong pick for the Copenhagen Wolves against heroes such as Night Stalker, but Dara already have Venomancer on their hands, so the passive of Venomancer as well as the Gale and the Nova will be some very great tools against the TA. So already Copenhagen Wolves or to the Tough Bananas have a hero that is highly reliant on momentum. Dara also have that hero in Night Stalker. The first night is incredibly crucial. The nighttime, the first nighttime is going to be deciding the role that he's going to be playing within the game. And now the second ban phase is over for Dara. They take out Ancient Apparition as well as Brewmaster. Furion has been in the pool the entire time, now got taken out in the second ban phase. So there you go, this is kind of the pace that both teams are approaching this game with. Dara is going for ganks and tower diving and high aggression. Rubik is going to be their seatbelt in the team fights as well. He will be luring outside on the range, throwing in the nuke, some auto attacks, perhaps go for a quick 4-staff because the positioning is so important, and then try to get his hands on some good spells. If he gets a TA ultimate stolen, then that is already an amazing pickup because they just give some great vision, have some great casting range too. And this is interesting, this last ban. This leaves Chen in the pool as well as Enigma, 2 junglers still left, so one of the 3 junglers got taken up by the Copenhagen Wolves. I don't know what to think about that pick, to be honest, because Enchantress, I don't know. I mean, they must have a reason why they want to take out Enchantress per se, because they don't do anything about the jungling department in general, because Dara can go for Chen right now if they want to, or they can go for Enigma, so they weren't able to get rid of all the junglers, but they did get rid of just Enchantress, and I mean the Impetus does a great amount of damage, and there you go, Dara says fine, we'll just go with Chen. I mean, Chen doesn't have a high DPS output like Enchantress, but he is equally or even more important to his team when it comes to his healing capabilities. I mean, you gotta basically be able to kill low HP heroes like Rubik and Venomancer twice if Chen is around with a mech and an ultimate. Also an amazing support for Night Stalker. The Persuasion can just send him back in conflict or in critical situations, and the heal of course helps him as well. So I really like that Chen pickup, and not so sure what the Copenhagen Wolves wanted to do with this Enchantress. Alright, there's Enigma response pickup, but this was kind of under pressure because, you see, now they have... But I mean, even though it was under pressure, they got 4 seconds left in their reserve time, but still, I really like this Enigma pick. The big question is, though, why did they pick up Enigma right now? You see, Dara already picked up Chen, and this means that Dara will probably not go for another jungler. I mean, Enigma could go laning, long lane solo, for example. I mean, that would be a legitimate issue. But I just don't think that Enigma is a hero that fits too well into the Dara lineup. They need more damage, and an Enigma, I think it's pretty unlikely for Dara to pick up Enigma with their last pick. So I could see them go for something like a Windrunner or a Beastmaster right now for the long lane. But in general, what I'm trying to get at is that Copenhagen Wolves might have been able to not pick Enigma, but go for any other hero that Dara might be picking right now. Perhaps a Windrunner would be something that also the Copenhagen Wolves would have liked to pick up. And Enigma is way less likely to get stolen by Dara on the last pick, so they can just get that 4th pick in, pick something that they really like, and then be relatively sure that Enigma will still be there after Dara picked their last hero. So perhaps a little bit of a tactical misplay from the drafter, but then again, they just really want to make sure they get their hands on Enigma. But this is like a few of those things that you can watch out for. If you know your enemy already has a jungler and a long lane solo, such as and thus he doesn't have any need for Enigma, and there's no bans left, then you don't need to pick Enigma on the 4th pick. You can wait until the 5th and get something that is more more frequently picked on your 4th. So now Dara's taking their sweet time, 26 seconds left on their bonus time. They got one last pick to go. I think they could use some good damage. Perhaps a Queen of Pain would be a very strong laner. In the middle lane, Rubik and Venomancer could perhaps support even a Night Stalker. One of the two, I mean. And Queen of Pain could also do the long lane, because Night Stalker would either have to go toward the mid, and Rubik and or Venomancer would need aren't all too strong on the long lane, so they might need the short lane. So what they need is a hero that is good for the long lane. Alright, Sand King is picked up. So I do think Sand King will be their long lane solo. He's capable of doing it, although I find it a little bit more difficult, to be honest, because he does have an escape mechanism in the form of going invisible with his Sandstorm, but, you know, it's nothing that gives a mobility like a Windrun from Windrunner, which is the last pick now for the Wolves. So the teams are now complete. Again, my name is Epi from epicommentary.com. Thank you guys for tuning in. And judging from those lineups, I think we can expect a crap load of action. I mean, Sand King has a low cooldown stun. It's like, what is it, 7 seconds or something? So does Night Stalker, and Night Stalker is just an aggressive ganking hero. But if you look over toward the Radiant side, they also have some very powerful mid-game. So I think once the laning phase is over, we will see some crazy aggression out of both teams. Alright, here we are. Gonna go for this right now. Just last hit deny so you guys are able to see what's going on. The Bulgarian squad in Dera got this really crazy mid-game lineup. Night Stalker is going to be their carry of the game. Played by Nowhere. Savadoom is playing Venomancer. Grumpy on Chen. Nose on Rubik. And toward the top lane, Hawkeye on Sand King. So there you go, Sand King heading toward the top lane. He got that Stout Shield, so he's able to be a little bit more out in the open, go for some more last hits earlier on, and not have to worry that much about being harassed. But this is very optimistically stated. He will have a very tough time on top lane. Now over toward the Dire side. Oh, this is the Dire side. I thought they were on the Radiant. Balsam is playing Naga Siren, Link playing TA, the Nino on Leshrac, Calculus will be playing Windrunner. I'm really looking forward to his Windrunner, and Rise will be playing Enigma. So as you can see from this lineup, they are actually really powerful. Balsam, Calculus, Rise, household names. Link, I mean, everybody knows Link that has been following the competitive scene for a while. The Nino has been around for a long time now too. If you guys don't know, by the way, Mania rejoined Dota 2, and he's playing now for Absolute Legends, their new squads. I'm really happy to see Mania back in the competitive scene. So bottom lane, Night Stalker and Venomancer, and Chen is doing the jungle. To the top lane there's that Sand King again, as I said earlier, soloing the long lane, and Rubik doing the solo mid. So this will make it possible for Rubik to get some very fast levels, very fast level 6 against TA, but this is going to be a very interesting lane. This middle lane is going to be tough for Rubik, I think, but it's possible to pull it off if you just make sure that you are able to get some your experience in. Don't get out farmed too heavily. Don't get harassed down too much. Then you're going to be fine. Hawkeye on the Sand King just managed to pick up a regen rune, so the enemy isn't able to get his hands on that. And there's some good movement from Sand King. He knows on top lane he's going to have a very hard time, so you can just get off the lane, watch for the rune, and support your team that way. Balsam already making sure that he's holding the creep equilibrium close to his tower. Ping goes out. They want to go for Calculus relatively early, and they can now too. Now look at this lane. It's incredibly scary for Windrun. They're going to go for it right now. There goes that Gale. Even with the Windrun, she's going to drop. I mean, Chen is here. It's got so much damage. There's just so much stuff from Dara's side. There's nothing Calculus can do but stall his death. And they even feed the last hit now to Night Stalker. So a great play by Dara, and they got to be able to do this. If you have a Chen and a Night Stalker and a Venomancer, then whoever lanes against you is going to have a really, really bad time. Now what Naga Siren is doing right here is she doesn't want to walk back into the tower, because that way the tower will start auto-attacking the creep wave, and it will push away from her own tower, which is something that she doesn't want to have happen. So she just really wants to make sure she gets some last hits. Rubik in mid lane against Link, level 3 against level 2. So a little bit of an outfarm happening already. This just goes to show the power of TA. Rubik is trying to do do his best in last hitting. Now use his self. Perhaps Link is going to be able to shoot through a creep and disable it. Or dispel it. Oh, now he goes up for the refraction. He's actually pretty low. It's on level 2 already, the refraction, but now the shield breaks. It's only 2, I think 3 damage instances on level 2. Perhaps even less. No, 4 even. There goes that stun onto Sand King. He's only level 1, so this is a long lane solo role for you. There's really not a lot that you can do. The Nino is doing a very good job in making sure to come around like this. This ward helps out a great amount because it gives vision up to down here. So Sand King has a really tough time, and this gives effective free farm now for Naga Siren. So this is a lane 1 for the Dire side. Mid lane also 1 for the Dire side. The only lane that they're losing so far is the bot with Windrunner. Now Calculus knows that he's in big trouble. And the best he can do is just try to stay back as far as he can. I mean, there's no wards for either side. There's, I mean, no observer wards. There's 2 sentry wards sitting around, but they only last for 2 minutes. And what Calculus did with this sentry ward is he removed out the vision that his opposing lane had. So, in essence, if you have a lane against a long lane solo, and you want to make sure you win that lane, you need a ward right here. You need this ward here. You need an observer ward that gives you vision of this entire space right there, because this will make it possible to do these backstabs on the side and effectively ruin the farm or the early game of whoever is standing on there, especially if you have the strongest level 1 slow in that Gale from Venomancer and a slow and a mini stun from Night Stalker. Especially, and even you have the help from Chen. So you can see Calculus has a really tough lane up, so he's not having fun at all. In the meantime, Venomancer is making sure that he's stacking and pulling right here to keep the lane even further back, and this makes it incredibly tough for this Windrunner. So again, this board is very, very important for several reasons, and also once you know, once you're like 8 minutes into the game or something like that, and you place another ward down here, it's more about if for example Night Stalker stays back or Sand King and they just want to farm the lane, then this ward really helps out in spotting out some quick TPs from the enemy, because you will be able to see them coming in for a gank attempt, and if you don't, 8 minutes in, it's nighttime. So this happens actually a lot. It happens to me a lot. It happens to in many games, and I was telling you that in case you're a little bit newer, you will realize the importance of a lane ward of this nature. If you have it here, then you will see incoming gank attempts, because usually when someone on the dire side gets killed a bunch of times and realizes that the lane is really not going so well, then what they will do is spend 135 gold, TP to a lane that is a little bit easier to gank, and then they will try to get a kill that way. So that way this ward, this 100 gold worth item, can save your ass and can also make sure that you win a lane, because you can keep an enemy hero away from experience. In the middle lane again, Link with the refraction should be able to outlane this Rubik. I mean, we see Rubik with just hitting level 4. Oh man, actually, wow. Rubik is out-farming, or is out-leveling TA. This is goes against my expectation. I think this might be because Templar Assassin went for the rune control, because she wants to have a quick bartle, so going away from middle lane to go for runes does have its effect on your farming ability. But even in the last hit department, we have Rubik outlast hitting Templar Assassin in the mid. So I gotta take back the statement that I postulated earlier, that TA is winning the middle lane. I mean, TA is not winning the middle lane right now. I just instinctively thought that she had an advantage in mid, but apparently Rubik is doing a very good job in laning against her. Now the dire side, this is a really standard position, gives you vision of the rune spot and the movements coming in from either side, gives you some vision over here as well. And with the top lane, there's this lane ward I talked about. From the dire side, just mirror, or a mirrored ward. Alright, we got one caster away. Matrix for you is gone, so sorry about that, guys. But here we go. This is this lane what I was talking about. Calculus dewarded it down here, but now they still have it up here. So this is one tool to keep sanking away, and as we can see, sanking only on level 1, halfway toward level 2. On bottom lane, Calculus just hit level 2, but he might die one more time because now the Centaur is being used. There's that slow. Centaur goes into position. He might not land the slow, but there's an amazing Gale, so the stun is going to be able to hit from the Centaur. It's not even needed, but he still used it nonetheless, and Chen gets the last hit. So perhaps another possibility to feed that last hit to Night Stalker, but I mean, it's also okay for supports to get some last hits, and because this will eventually translate into items such as mana boots, stuff like that, and wards, even smokes, stuff like this. So it's okay to give your supports some hero last hits too. Although perhaps I personally would have fed it to Night Stalker once more. Now let's have a look in the middle lane one more time. This is really interesting. Now Templar Assassin sitting just below level 5. Now she's outlaning or outfarming Rubik in the XP department. The last hits now are evened out, so Link was probably just away from lane for a while. The Bartle, I guess, also gives him some advantage. She has one charge left. His Rubik's Bartle is empty. We'll see if he will resort to Bottle Crowing or not. No.
Oh, Hawkeye, now he leaves his lane, goes up against Link, and he's only level 1, so he still can't go invisible. The ping goes up from TA, needs help, Nino is here, and now they turn around to go into Sand King, and Sand King looks to be in big trouble, and he's running back and forth like a madman. He's gonna drop, most certainly. Leshrac gets the last hit, Edict just very, very powerful, and they perhaps want to continue going for Rubik now too. Nino misses the stun, unfortunately on mid, great movement from Rubik. Usually when you see a hero coming in somewhere around here and you see the casting animation, then you know that this would be the radius where the stun could come, so he intelligently enough moved in a right angle away from there. Bottom lane again, Calculus realized that this must be the most boring game in his life, or I guess the most outgunned game he's ever played. But I mean, Leaf, the pro-German player, he also talks about, you know, going up against a tri-lane with a Windrunner. It's fine if you survive for a few more. Oh man, now we have Ruby coming around for the gang, and third death going to happen right now for Windrunner on bot. This is a really crazy lane, and she just fired out a Cactus Mage. He knew he was dead. He just wasted a bit of his, used a bit of his mana for a power shot to put out some damage. Because we're 5 minutes in, and the tower's going down. Now, the point I was going to make is that Leaf was talking about if you have a Windrunner and you just make sure you don't die, and you perhaps use power shot intelligently enough that you delay the first tier 1 tower dropping by a few minutes, then you already effectively kind of won your lane, because your enemy had to invest more time toward the tier 1 tower, you got your experience, and you didn't give them gold or experience by dying. So obviously Kekis lost his lane on bot, but this should be your goals if you're going for a long lane solo hero. You just try to stall the pushes, try not to die, but still get some experience in gold if possible. But the most important thing is not dying, and then making sure you get something out of it as well. But obviously against this very, very powerful lane, this is almost an impossibility. Now Savadoom on Venomancer just pulling, he's cutting down this tree so he can aggro these creep camps at the right time and pull it right back down. And Nightstalk right now has to decide whether or not he wants to keep on ganging, because now he's got nighttime with a level 100 in the night, or if he wants to keep on farming for a bit. Personally, I think he should farm for a few more minutes, because he's just sitting at level 6, and he doesn't even get his ultimate. I don't agree with that. You should get your ultimate right away so you can extend the nighttime. This way he gets 5% more movement speed and 15 more attack speed. This is ridiculous. It's not needed. I mean, it is needed, of course, but it's not superior to extending nighttime by, you know, at least 25 seconds. You get it off like, I think, 2 or 3 times. So it's more than a minute, almost 2 minutes of additional stuff. Now we have an engagement on the top lane. Here comes Nightstalk. Immediate drop now on the low HP Leshrac. Now they're chasing after Balsam. Good stun from the Centaur. He's going to take a fall now too. And 2 heroes down, and Dara is looking very powerful so far. This, as I said, this is a really aggressive lineup. Sand King right now, he gets some good experience as well. And that's the thing, if you're on the long lane, and you're having a tough lane, you just gotta make sure that your teammates are able to make some action happen on another lane. So now his teammates got the tier 1 tower on bot, and now they're able to just rotate to his lane, get some kills, and thus give him some much needed experience and even some more tower gold. If he gets the last hit right now too, then he already has basically caught up on farm. But even if he doesn't, that's 200 gold for him. That's fine. Now the tough bananas on the dire side know they gotta make something happen. They have Enigma with the gold in the jungle that gives them some good gold, but not able to outdo what Dara is laying up upon them right now. Enigma going for mech, so standard stuff, I guess. Rotation toward the bottom lane, so now TTB, they know they gotta make something happen themselves. In terms of farm, we have, let's check out the gold per minute. Alright, TA gets that last hit. Nightstalker looking very strong, and they're smoked up on top. They really think, really aggressively moving around. They really want to make something happen. They were looking around here to see if they could pick someone up. This ward, so early, 8 minutes into the game, we already see ward in this position. They mean business. They want to finish the game really, really soon. They know that they're also outgunned later on. So this is an amazing strategy by Dara so far. They know they can't go up against this lineup like 30, 40, 50 minutes into the game. They cannot. So what they do is they get these early towers, move around together, and now Ryze is moving in toward the Roshan pit, but the pings are going out now too. I think Dara knows, because they got that trap from Rubik. Oh no, it's not even a trap, that's a trap from... Yes, it is from Rubik, I think. No, it's from the dire side, it's from Link, sorry. Link didn't even steal it, so they might not know. Now the pings are going on. Now they might be up to something. They do push the tier 1 in mid. Now Roshan drops. They had no idea. So a nice play from TTB, and they need this too. They need a second life on TA, and now they gotta answer them. All their tier 1 towers are down. The tier 2 on top is gone as well, and they only got 2 towers. They have the late game going into their favor. We have Nagasiren already picking up a vitality booster with a tranquil boots, so the farm is going okay. Let's have a quick item check while we're talking about that. Rubik already has arcane boots and solo mid, but he's getting out leveled, I think, by TA, 2 full levels ahead. TA saving up for a blink dagger. We have items flying out toward the Nino right now. Perhaps just something like a magic wand. I don't think that should be anything too big. Rise wants to complete up his mech. And now on the minimap we can already see both teams kind of relaxing a bit. Dara got what they wanted. They got all the tier 1 towers, they got the tier 2 on top, and now they just need to farm up a little bit more. I mean, Nightstalker already has a Vanguard. Nighttime will be over relatively soon, and Chen has a mech. So this is already going fine. Enigma now answers with his own mech. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Leshak gets a kill in mid, supported by Windrunner and TA. Rubik drops, so that's pretty good for them. Important kill, I guess. 5-2. They only have 2 kills so far. Hawkeye now gets caught, goes invisible immediately. He's got he's only level 4. By the way, let's check out the hero levels. You see, the dire side is out-leveling the enemy. Now they're pushing in toward the top. The most important thing that has to happen right now is that Dara need to continue their momentum roll. They have to be the aggressors of the game. They gotta be able to abuse the fact that they have these low cooldown stuns and disables the big burst potential of the nukes and the heal from Chen. He's still not level 6 though, but he does have 5 tangos, so I guess that's going his way. And Nightstalker with his tankiness in the Vanguard and the Urn, they really gotta make that count. They gotta go in and take the fight to the enemy, because the dire side will be happy to just play this game toward the later stages. Oh, this is dangerous. The Gale only hits on Nino, but he's low HP. He gets pulled back in. 260 HP left on him. Hawkeye looking for the stun. It's on level 2, low range, but he still gets the hit. One last right click, but there's that Song of the Siren from Balsam, saving the life of Nightstalker, of Leshrac, not because Nightstalker was there. And now the pings are going out, but still, just one casualty by being caught out of position that way is okay. Good reaction from Balsam. If it weren't for Nightstalker coming in from the flank, then Leshrac would have survived as well. One thing also worth noting is the warding of the dire side. I mean, TTB, look at this. They have 4 wards on the map so far, and they're all relatively fresh. I mean, the Roshan ward perhaps not so important. Alright, Calculus is playing some great manners right now. Rubik disconnected out and he got caught in this position, got shackled. And he just says he will try to let him run. He does know if for example, Link's attack is already clicked. And we see the power shot animation, 0.2 seconds left, so he will power shot. No doubt he can't abort this anymore. So Rubik might be dead. If the attacks that are already, or the commands that are already given will not kill him, then he will live. Perhaps the creeps will then beat the crap out of him afterwards. But again, look at the warding from the dire side. They have vision all over the map. All over the map, but they need to stick together, try not to get picked off. I mean, the thing about this train, this gang train that Dara side have, is that it's just wherever they go, they will hit like a truck. And when one of them gets caught, they shouldn't get caught out alone. If they find one, they should always have a little bit of support nearby, so that TTB are able to fight this. I mean, TA loves long and drawn-out team fights. She thrives in those. She has the Aegis now too. Enigma will have a Blink Dagger and 1,000 gold now too, because it's also quite important for him. The positioning will, or I mean the positional advantage and ability that he will get with the Blink Dagger will also make him thrive in these long and drawn-out team fights, which TA also loves. Windrun with the Windrun is also an amazing a candidate for these types of skirmishes. And Naga Siren, we just saw why she's such an important asset. With her skill build, it's interesting though. She doesn't have a single level in mirror image, but she will get pretty strong in the later stages of the game. And as I said earlier, Dara don't have the firing power that they need to answer this type of squad once the game hits the later stages. Now, the teammate of Dara's side has reconnected in. Let's have a look if Rubik's going to die. Again, thanks for watching, guys. This is Starladder Season 3, and I'm happy that you guys are watching. What do you think gold XP is? Not so sure. There it is, guys. Gold XP. 3k gold for us. No, gold XP is both in favor of the wolf so far. While we're in the pause, let me just check something real fast. Okay, the last caster not able to rejoin. Oh, I don't think I had these overlays on for the longest part of the game. To be honest, we're only 12 minutes into the game, so Dara still have a lot to answer. Sanking, though, did not hit his level 6 yet. Again, let's have a look at the hero levels. When it comes to these clashes, it's going to be very important that Dara win these clashes decisively, because every match they lose, or every fight they lose, this will give more and more power to the wolves, and they definitely have the advantage later on. Alright, let's see how Rubik's going to fare. This isn't going to be a meld hit. So that's about 200 damage. With the level 3 power shot, should be fine. But I think they're just going to right click Rubik down. Because Calculator just said he already spent 210 mana on him. There's a power shot. Alright. I think this was already the command given. The right click also came afterwards. I don't know if he was able to, but you saw how fast it happened. So a DD rune on top. Good news. And how does this guy have true sight? I guess he doesn't. Once the trap is set, it will take 1 or 2 seconds until it goes fully invisible. Now we have daytime. Night Stalker still doesn't have his ultimate skill, so this will be a pretty long day for him. And perhaps it's also a time where the dire side can decide that they will simply farm up a bit more, and once nighttime hits they have more to answer him back. Or maybe they don't, they want to use the daytime to push and put some pressure on the dire side, the Radiant side themselves. I mean, Link still has that Aegis, so it could be quite possible. There's a trap. Went invisible before the Plague Ward was able to take care of it, and TA almost has a Blink Dagger up. So this is probably going to be the item that they're waiting for. He's probably telling his teams right now, no, don't steal my farm, I need this for my dagger, and Karakas is being a troll. So this would have been Link's Blink Dagger. On bottom lane, Chen now has hit level 6. Gets chased by an illusion from Naga Siren. As you can see, he's pretty low on HP, low on levels now too. But again, it's only 13 minutes into the game. We already have seen 9 kills. But there's that slow onto Rubik, and they're going to go for it. Karakas looking for the shackle. He could get it right now, but they didn't have vision on the upchoke. Now a double gale hitting on Link, and a double stun now too. Epicenter being channeled, and Karakas is going to be a sacrificial lamb. TA is on the run out into a different direction, going to TP out, but that's the issue. The trap was used up here, and then they didn't have vision on the upchoke, so Rubik was able to just sit here and Venomancer was also farming the ancient spot, and Sand King was there as well. So they turned a 2 against 1 into a 3 against 2, and if Gale and Stun hit both heroes, then you basically won that little skirmish. Enigma on top has to be careful, has to back out. Once he's going to get ganked, he might be in range for the telekinesis, and there it goes. He needs to buy his dagger before he dies. A stun from Hawkeye is going to be happening right now as well. Spend your gold, buddy. But he's fighting back. He has his black hole now as well, and look at both heroes so low. Rise. No, it doesn't even have to work. He still has a mech, didn't even need to use that. And the 2 heroes just not able to get him, kill him fast enough. So Enigma already... Oh, he's on level 11 and didn't put a point into his black hole, so I guess that's a little bit of a misskilling. He's baiting them. He still has the mech. He's got a crap load of mana. There goes that Chen heal, and now Rise will have to use his mech, and he's fighting back, but the Malphus stolen from Rubik is doing some good work onto Enigma. And they need just one more here. The stun is ready from Hawkeye. One last right click. Who's going to get the kill first? And it's Hawkeye who's going to take the first fall. So good fighting back from Rise, but an amazing play by Rubik as well, taking out the Malphus and using it against Enigma. So they get the kill. But earlier, Enigma had like a 1 or 2 second time winner where we could have caught a 2-man black hole. So Rise just being very ballsy, I guess, and fighting back, knowing that he's pretty powerful with his mech. And I mean, he did get a kill before he died himself, so I guess it's okay. Sand King is going to tank up now as well. And the pings are going on. So now the big question is which team is going to make a move. I don't think that the Dire side will make a move, to be honest. Even though TA right now is able to get a Blink Dagger up. Enigma not going for a Blink, going for a BKB first instead of a Blink. And I guess that's a good choice. They have nothing to pierce the BKB. And they have some great follow-up damage with the black hole now too. So I really like the item choice from Enigma so far. They have amazing follow-up damage for a black hole. They got the power shot, they got TA just bursting through heroes. They have the nuke from Naga Siren and her illusions, and they have Leshrac. So a black hole is going to be the bane of the Dare side. If he hits like a 3-4-man black hole, then teamfight's basically won, provided that the black hole has got some follow-up damage from the heroes. And the Tough Bananas know that they are in an advantageous position with the black hole, even though it's only level 1, because Enigma again didn't skill. This might be a new strat or something, I don't know. Now, oh, there's that ultimate use from Balsam. A little bit of miscommunication. There goes that follow-up damage I was just talking about, but there goes the Chen heal, and this was a really interesting, good black hole steal right now from Rubik, and they're just going to fight back. TTB looking in trouble. Even the epicenter used, and this is going to be 4 heroes, or 3 heroes dead at least. Now TA going to be killed a second time, and really big miscommunication from the Dire side. If you saw what just happened, the ultimate was used by Naga Siren, and 2 heroes attempted to TP out, but Enigma went for the black hole, so one guy aborted his TP, Calculus was already out. Another misclick now from Sand King. I mean, he went for a TP, but then stunned. Anyway, not so sure what the dealio is in that regard. Now Balsam trying to get away, trying to juke his way out. I think he's going to be dead. Another slow right now from Night Stalker. This was a really, really fatal teamfight loss for TTB. Balsam might actually survive this. Turns around, goes for the net onto Night Stalker. He did have the nuke ready. Might have been able to kill Naga Siren, but decided not to. Shackle, latches. Now they got to be able to do that damage. 600 with... Yeah, there's the magical damage. Nukes, they do enough damage, and down goes Night Stalker. Now the chase from Link, after blinking Rubik, sent back onto Venomancer by Grumpy on that Chen. And TTP wanted chased after, but look at that low HP on these heroes. Now Link might even be in trouble. The Nino has to run himself back out. Mech used by Rise. Now the Shackle latches onto Rubik, and now he's in big trouble. Rise goes in. Right clicks coming out. Malphus doing some great damage as well. Now Grumpy being chased. Link will have 3 more seconds until he has another Psionic Trap, and Chen is most certainly dead now as well. There goes a nuke from Nino. Everything lands. Shackle doesn't latch. Doesn't matter.
Your desolation and the world's.
Some So both teams derping around in the team fights. It's kind of interesting to see that, for example, the Dire side did such a bad fight engagement on top, and then we saw Dara overextending in mid and not getting a kill on Naga Siren. It appears that Naga Siren will go for fast Radiance after her Vanguard and Tranquil Boots. I like that choice. And the second Roshan is up. Now, Dara didn't have any vision of this, although Sand King right now, he does have an invisibility rune, so... And he will have his epicenter in about 6 seconds. So, if there's more support coming in from Dara, they will be able to snatch this. But Sand King will have to go really soon. Okay, I think Sand King will just try to go for the steal onto the Aegis. He's spam clicking right now. There goes the stun. He steals the Aegis, but he's going to drop right now. He should have saved his stun, I think, to get out of the pit. He's going to die, and he might die a second time. 2 more seconds until this. No, he's going to be fine. He will burst right up there, and Nino will probably look for the stun. Instead, he goes up here. Do they have vision? That's a big question. He does go invisible. The nukes hit, and he goes for a TP. Is there going to be the follow-up damage? Split Earth not being used by Nino, so he actually makes it alive. Great play by Sand King. 2 heroes shackled together, but no follow-up damage by the Dire side. Now, who did the last hit go to? Roshan has been killed by the Dire. So, the Wolves still get the last hit on that, but Sand King steals the Aegis. Link is being camped. He has to be very, very careful. He doesn't have the blink there. 2.7k gold. Ultimate used by Balsam. Link, you can reveal yourself right now and go back home. TP coming from Leshrac. He's again healed up both in mana and HP. And it appears that Dara want to pressure this, although they have Night Stalkers. Oh, 2-man shackle. Is it going to be initiation? Balsam coming in. And instead he goes for a Yasha, not going for a Relic. But Dara persisting in the middle lane. It is nighttime again, and we have Night Stalker rotating toward the top, toward the middle lane, up from bot. Calculus, Shackle, again, man, this is third 2-man Shackle in the middle lane right now. Power Shot flies through as well. And Enigma has that BKB up, so what they want to do, I think, right now, is they want to see if Dara really are aggressive enough to really go into this position to fight, and then they will try to respond and pick them all off. Nice blink initiation onto Leshrac. He gets 4-staffed away though from Calculus. The nukes are there. Gale hits now as well. Rise going in. Black Hole is ready. He will go for it right now. BKB is used. 2 heroes hit. First one drops. Rubik steals the Black Hole immediately. Doesn't have the mana for it. Chen Healer goes through. 1-for-1 exchange so far. So not as effective as they really wanted to. And now Night Stalker chasing after Link. Rise BKB now is gone. And Night Stalker is now able to turn this fight around if he has the support for it. And it doesn't appear so. He has to go up toward the high point and get himself back. Now Sand King buys himself back, and this was an interesting engagement. 1-for-1, but the Black Hole got used and stolen, but no mana to get it off. Now Venomancer out of position, sent back from Chen, not fast enough. And now even Chen, he will have to TP himself away. Is it going to be disabled? I don't think so. And even Link on TA going for fast BKB. So BKB will be the item of choice, and I really like the thoughts behind that, because look at all the damage. The main damage source for Dara is magical. Epicenter, the nukes from Rubik, and the Poison Nova. The only one that's able of doing some physical DPS is Night Stalker, but if it's him, if he is the only person that does the physical damage, then BKB is just an amazing choice.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Let's have a look at the items one more time. As we just saw, Enigma has a BKB. Naga Siren. Don't know if she's going to complete the butterfly, if she just wants to hold on to the Yasha. Link on his way toward the BKB. There's that 4-staff of Calculus, which saved Nino's life, or at least prolonged it, in that middle engagement at the tier 1 tower, tier 2 tower, excuse me. And we have 2 Vanguards up on Dara side already. So Dara have tankiness, and the Dire also want to go for tankiness in the form of magic immunity. Pings are going out like crazy. The smoke is now used from Dara, and they just ran right through that combination of Observer and Sentry Ward. So now they know what's up, and they will just camp the tier 2 tower. I mean, Enigma doesn't have a Black Hole yet, and Rubik does have it, so another reason why they do want to go in. So Rubik has a great ultimate, and Dara have a weak late game. So this is forcing them to do what they're doing right now, and they would be able to do it now too. Balsam has his ultimate, he goes for it immediately, and now they want to look for a good position. Enigma still doesn't have the black hole ready, but they see we have two right here, but they decide to go for Rubik. They think that he's the most important one, but he blinks away immediately, so they're not able to get it. Now he can go in for a great black hole, catches two already, and now Dara have it. There's the epicenter from Hawkeye. He's going to grab Nino and might have a stun soon in 4 seconds. The Chen heal helps him out as well, and the Wolves are being destroyed so far. Now Dara's on the run, or the chase after Link, as well as Enigma under the tower. They gotta focus their efforts onto one though. TA does go invisible, they don't have True Sight for him. Instead they gotta be able to turn around and go onto Rise, but he's fighting back against Rubik. He's gonna drop before Chen is able to send him back. Now Rise will probably take a fall, silenced up by Night Stalker. Link now rejoining the team fight. The dire side already lost 3 heroes, and Dara just lost 1, and he already bought back. So this is the power that Dara have so far. This is the momentum that is crashing into their tier 2 tower on bot, and the Wolves, an interesting initiation there. They needed something, perhaps a perfectly timed stun from Leshrac, but the spamming of the blink button from Rubik already good enough. I mean, Rubik playing such a great game. They get another kill onto Calculus, and they get the tier 2 on bot. This is looking pretty dire for the Dire. 5 heroes from Dara again on the bottom lane. Night Stalker also on his way toward a BKB, and they're all looking pretty good in terms of HP. 2 heroes still down for the Wolves. Enigma does have a black hole ready, but they might be able to get this Rax. Illusions being sent in by Balsam right now. The Manta style is up, so he does have a lot to answer. He's probably going to go, yeah, Venomancer. Look at the damage output. There goes a stun now from Leshrac, but the sandbag from Chen might be enough. No, it's not. The right click from Naga Siren does get the kill before he's able to be sent back. Invisibility rune now used by Rubik. The nukage from Balsam almost enough to get him safely back home. Now Chen will be able to TP away, and Rubik is invisible, as I pointed out earlier. So this is good stuff by Dara. They only lost Venomancer, and they really almost got the kill on the tier 3 tower. For some reason Rubik drops a really cool sentry ward. And they do get it, so good stuff, I guess. 16 to 13, let's have a look at the gold. It is coming back toward the Radiant side, but still not, they're still not out of the woods. Experience is dipping right back down toward the Wolves. And let's have a look at the items. So Night Stalker has his BKB now up as well. Still, the BKB in this screen just shows the full duration, even though that's not right, at least for Enigma. He should have like 7 or 8 seconds. 8 seconds. But here it shows 10. 4 staff still on Calculus. He doesn't have too much. He's on the same level as their support. Mech BKB, Manta Style, Naga Siren should be able to farm really, really fast. And 2 Blink Daggers on Dara. So they are really pulling it off. They're doing a really good job at initiating. Every time Rubik has a black hole, then Hawkeye makes sure to get his epicenter out, and then really good positioning with two heroes at least around him.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures.
Alright, there goes that glyph. 9 seconds left on the BKB for Link, but he's really low on HP in general. And the Radiant tried to defend and go for a kill, but the Dire backed out fast enough. Balsam, he might need something like a Diffusal Blade, something that gives him some bonus damage, or a heart. So he either needs to tank up, or he needs to gain himself some damage. Usually TA is the one that goes for the damage, and Naga Siren would be capable of going for a heart and then kind of tanking the tower and tanking the damage of the enemy. A heart on Naga Siren is just a really nice item because of all the illusions that you're able to generate, and they're just so much more tanky with that raw HP. Now again, the Dire side is keeping up with the warding, and they still have 4 wards on the map. I think this is worth pointing out. It's a really diligent play from Nino on support. BKB regen rune, and TA really needs more damage. I mean, with her refraction and her meld, she has some really big bonus damage, but she needs something like a Desolator to be able to go through heroes like Rubik even faster. Because Rubik is very dangerous, but if you're able to catch him out of position, you can burst him down really fast, because he's doesn't even have 900 HP at this point in time. So he does have some great influence on the team fight, but he's really, really fragile. So this was the main caveat of this hero when he was first introduced. I thought that he wouldn't be such a strong variable in the games simply because he has so little HP, but then comes Blink Dagger and Force Staff built by Dendi and shows how dangerous this hero really is with a great amount of mobility. So Rubik is a powerful hero, but only in skilled hands. You have to be able to really be aware of your positioning and know when to initiate, when to blink in where, and where to use which of your skills and what skill to steal. So with Enigma on the enemy side, I guess it's relatively easy to find out what skill you want to steal, but you got to make sure you're not caught in the black hole in the first place, and Rubik has been doing a tremendous job in that regard. Now we have Enigma farming up in the jungle, going for a quick Hex, so they really need this disabled. If they have BKBs up on their team and they have a Hex against this Night Stalker, then this will already be an amazing tool for it. Dire side looking to be aggressive at this stage. The question is aggression for the Dire side the right choice? They have the late game in the bag, so perhaps they should just focus on this area to farm, maybe protect Roshan and the ancient spot and just farm the lanes and then go fight. Instead they show some great aggression on the bottom tier 2, and they're going to get it now too. No deny, no nothing. They get this tower for free. We have a Blink Dagger on Sanking right now as well with level 2 Epicenter. And Dire side right now back out. Now, Link, Blink, and BKB, he really needs damage right now. Nightstalk on top, 2.7k gold, gotta be careful. He already goes for the TP out. These are the types of situations which are tough. If you know you are out of position this far on the minimap, and the rest of the waves are somewhere around here, then you know that you will be the next target of a gank. So he had to, usually you will be like, oh, let me just farm this last wave and go for these last 5 last hits. But this will be like the 20 seconds that the enemy heroes need to go get into range for a kill. So he diligently enough TP's back to base, already had enough farm, doesn't want to lose any. And the third Roshan are going to go to the Dire side. Who's going to get the cheese is the question. Aegis goes to TA, and a cheese probably going to be picked up by Naga Siren. There we go. So the Roshan is really big. I like Dara's aggression, I like their team fight. I don't like their map awareness, or I mean their mini-map movement. They apparently don't time Roshan, or they just don't give a damn about Roshan, but what they gotta realize is that they're gotta be able to kill TA and Naga Siren twice now, provided Naga Siren gets her cheese off and uses it efficiently enough. But Dara, they show that they are still able to take these team fights against the Dire side, but if you ask me, then it's going to get harder and harder as the game drags on, and the Roshan number 3 certainly didn't help in the gold department or in the experience department. So as you can see, TTB is spiraling out of control. Rubik still has a Blink Dagger. I would like to see something like just a Vitality booster, just tank up. There's no item that gives you more HP for 1100 gold in total, or a combination of items, than a Vitality booster. So this will be something that he could consider. Maybe even something like a Ghost Scepter to counteract TA's burst. But I mean, the Ghost Scepter would be a double-edged sword, because Naga Siren and Enigma and Power Shot from Windrunner. Now the initiation onto Windrunner, speaking of her, Saba Doom goes for that Gale once she lands on the bottom, but Windrun Force Staff TP keeps her safe and alive. And Dara, they do want to go for this tier 2 in mid, and these two heroes gotta make sure they don't get caught up before the team fight even starts. Link, invisible. Venomancer should think towards something like a gem relatively soon if they want to make sure to keep map control. This courier has a burst in speed, you know? Venomancer. And now we see the dire side going for some big pressure. The tier 2 tower might actually drop. I doubt that Dara want to fight this. Although they have the blink, they have the positional advantages. But this time around, Rubik doesn't have a black hole. So what he's gonna, nighttime now hits. Nightstalker's gonna go in with his BKB, 10 full seconds already up for this, and he will try to get some reaction out of the enemy, which then Sand King will use to get a really good epicenter in. Where's Sand King? Gotta look for him. He's being really careful not to get caught out. The ping goes up from Windrunner though, and there's a really nice trap now. Used from TA. And a good deny by Venomancer. Didn't even see that happen. TTB on the dire side not committing too many resources or taking too much of a risk in taking out their tier 2 tower. More importantly, I think at this stage is that they get the map control out. So now they have another blind spot right here if there's no creeps or wards here. So in effect, this is going to be all their vision. And that way, TTB on the dire side will be able to do things like this. They're able to farm the enemy forest and deprive them of their gold. So all in all, I gotta say, this is looking pretty dark for Dara so far. Let's switch the vision to kind of give you a better impression of what this would look like. This is the vision right now of the Dara side. So you can see all this stuff. Obviously these traps are invisible, but as you can see, you don't see Jack squad. They have no idea what's happening here. For example, look at Sand King. He might get caught out right now. Rise, gonna find him. Balsam is here as well, gonna switch to full vision. He goes invisible, but there's the nuke potential from Leshrac, and Sand King gonna get caught out. He's gonna drop, and that is for certain. No gold left on him. He spent his last gold on something. No, I guess he just was poor and lost his last remaining gold. So that's the thing. This is why map control is so important. This is why warding is so important. Running up the up choke is just a really bad idea, especially considering that the enemy was around this area 20 seconds beforehand, and your creeps in the neutral force are all up. So there's a big probability that they will be waiting there, or at least will be around the area and outnumbering you. So in general, what's important is that you walk through these positions with your team, with a smoke. Go for a quick fight that way, for a big team fight, and catch them by surprise, or just one or more 2 heroes helping you out, protecting you a bit if you run into 1 or 2 heroes on the enemy side. Now the dire side pressuring the tier 3 high ground being attempted. Sand King, he has to hurry up. As soon as he's up, go for that big epicenter.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
And now the mid tier 3 drops, and the ping goes out, the blink into the stun. He needs to go invisible. Great move. He goes to ultimate now from Balsam, and now watch out for Rubik. This is going to be the most important hero of the match. He has a spell steal, and we'll see if he's going to be able to get something good. Now Hawkeye being caught out. Chen Heal goes out, stun away from Sand King. They're keeping their ground, and in the middle of it is Nightstalker. He doesn't get a kill yet. Now he's out of position. He's going to get right-click down. The magic community not helping him so much. Oh, there's a big epicenter used, but there's magic immune heroes everywhere. And now the first hero to drop is actually Link, but he buys back. He doesn't have a way to TP in immediately. Where is he? Yes, he's still in there. He bought back. I don't know how he rejoined the team fight so far. Now there's a black hole from Rise, and they get 2 heroes down now from Dara. First buyback, triple kill on Link. And now Leshrac also takes a fall. The net now goes onto Nightstalker, and he might be in huge trouble. Link needs to go for big melt damage. He goes he did go for the invisibility. Chen is trying to help his buddy out as best he can. Rai is going to go for the TP out, and Stava Doom in the middle of it with his Venomancer. And now the dire side being scared away or being pushed back forcefully, and Nightstalker just tanky enough. Shackle latches. Link tries to go in, but this is going to be his death perhaps. He has a refraction up again. Balsam so tanky as well. He doesn't have any mana, but he still has the diffusal bait. Now Link takes the fall. He still has his Aegis. Balsam did use his cheese, and there's a shackle on the 2 heroes. Now Venomancer drops Blinker from Link, and now also Rubik gonna take a fall. There's 3 heroes. Another buyback used now by Rubik, and the Drax under attack. I think the melee barracks gonna fall. The ranged barracks might fall afterwards, but an amazing drawn out team fight from both sides. It was so chaotic for a while. Wasn't sure what was going on, but Link and his buddies actually came out on top of this. Now one last right click. Oh, it's a power shot that gets the kill before Chen's sandbag is complete. And the dire side back out. They should be happy with this. We have a Piper Windrunner, we have a mech on Enigma. Yasha on TA. I don't even know, man, why you would go for a Yasha on TA instead of some pure damage. She goes for a Manta Style as well. Oh, I guess against the silence from Nightstalker. And as we saw, I don't think Rubik was able to get his hands onto anything too big of a spell. So there you see how important the spell steal is for the Radiant side. Rod of Ato is used by Windrunner. Interesting. Cool item. Underpicked, and in the next few versions it will give 300 HP instead of 250, I believe I heard. Nino against Hawkeye. Is support going to be there? Dara squad is coming in. Link is here now as well, though. Gale flies out. Chen Heal goes out as well. Leshrac now going to get focused down. He does drop. Now the BKB is already up for Night Stalker being used. But he drops nonetheless, man. They lose 3 heroes in that engagement. So this really isn't something that Dara wants to have happen. They kind of overextend in that regard, and oh, now Rubik, look at him. He's so low HP, he just melts. He got caught out and melted. So they have the middle melee racks, and they have the more advantageous late game, and they just won a big team fight. So this is all signs go to finish the game and win it. And I think the XP that they earned over the game, the gold, will help them in that regard. Now, the Mantle Style, I guess, is a really good tool for the Silence. I think this is one of the reasons why Link chose to go for that item instead of the usual Desolator. And yeah, now the bottom melee rack is going to drop as well. So that's 2 lines for Wolves, and I think the top going to push itself in. They're not going to be able to... These creeps and the Siege Machine not going to get the tower, but all in all, you can see how big this is. Earlier I talked about this. This again, the vision, as you can see on the minimap, the vision of Dara side. So they don't have any wards. They have this Senti ward here, but it gives very limited vision. It's just a really small AoE, and they have no wards whatsoever up. So as you can see, it is... Oh no, this is Radiant side. They have 1 ward up here. It's going to expire right now, and then even this little vision is going to be gone. So now the entire map is dark, and this is their line of vision. And anywhere else, this whole area is dangerous territory. They have no idea where the enemy is. This is vision of the dire side. So they also have a bunch of enemy territory, but they have the advantage because of their items and their experience. So they are the ones that are dominating the map at the moment. So this is not a worry for them. Now, Enigma actually went for a Lincoln Sphere and not a mech, a Sheepstick, as I pointed out earlier. Now an Oblivion Staff, perhaps a Refresher Orb. So these are just like the late game items when you know you already won a game. Calculus, that Rod of Atos, really helps him out with health. Rod of Atos was thought to be like the #1 support item after it came out, but I guess Force Staff is just superior in that regard, because positioning is more times more important than just raw HP, and it's also a little bit cheaper than a Rod of Atos. So a Rod of Atos did not morph into the #1 support item as anticipated by many players, but I think with a bit of tweaking, like that 300 HP instead of 250, it might get picked up more often. Alright, now the Dire side really want to finish the game. They're coming in toward the top lane. Glyph forced out. Where's Sand King? He's going to be important. Sand King is coming in right now. I'm going to have a look at him. He's looking for his chance to Epicenter in. Venomat's going to take a fall, sent back right now, and he's going to go in. Epicenter's going to come right now onto 3 heroes, but look at this, it barely does any damage. Now the ultimate used by Naga Siren, and they ping out Hawkeye, so they want to focus down. Rise goes for a black hole, didn't catch anybody, but it's stolen black hole right now by Rubik. This is actually really big. They might be able to turn this around a little bit at least, but they do lose Night Stalker. He has to buy back. They lose Rubik. He doesn't have a buyback, and they lose the melee barracks on top as well. I think Night Stalker's going to be able to get a kill on Rise. Oh, he did have the refresher up. Goes for the black hole. There's no follow-up so far, but now Balsam comes in. There's a mech now used as well, and down goes Night Stalker as well. So a great game played. the Bulgarians agree, and they lose another game right now against the dire side in the Copenhagen Wolves, now called the Tough Bananas.
Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen.
After this game, guys, there's another one coming up. I think it is... I don't know who it is, to be honest. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you after this game.
Radiant's middle
So
tower
stick around if you want to see this. I think it's going to be Dara once
Radiant's
more.
middle barracks has fallen. The Dire now have mega creeps.
The mega creeps up for the Tough Bananas.
Has fallen. Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
So it looked really good for Dara earlier on, but they weren't able to bring the game home before it ended. So the new Dara squad still got to step up their game if they want to be recognized in the international scene. Obviously, the former Dara squad is a lot more prestigious, both in the personalities that played on it as well as with the results that they produced. And the Tough Bananas right now, well deserved, take a win against Dara. As you can see, the level differential is pretty huge, and yeah, just an amazing play by Calculus, Link, Balsam, Rise, and the Nino. And this is it for the game 1 of Starladder Season 3. Game 2 is coming up next, not this team, but the second game that I'm casting tonight. I think it will also be Dara, and I will let you know which one it is. Again, my name is Epi. Please check out epicommentator.com. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in just a few seconds.